Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. Getting a little weather today, a little moisture. We like that, we do. It's that weird, it's cold, but it's not cold thing. You can't find the right space to be in. It's like warmer outside than it is inside, but you don't want to fully like start getting fires going and all that kind of stuff. And it's one of these kind of days, man. I have that I don't know what kind of a vibe it is, man. It's sort of that like, what's next? And I don't mean in like the big picture of like what's coming, what's gonna happen next. More like, what should I do next? So last night was the final vote at Malibu City Hall for the skate park. Like a final moment I needed to show up and participate in the civic process of getting the skate park built in Malibu, which for those of you who've been following this channel's been going on as long as this YouTube channel's been going, which is about 14 years. 14 years, man. And it was kind of cool because the people that showed up to testify, there was 7 of us that showed up to testify for the approval of the money to be spent to build the skate park. The final thing, the money has been allocated. So I think it's like a 3 or 4 month thing now till it's done, till it's finished, man. So I think we could be skating down there in this summer, man. But it was kind of interesting because 7 people testified to approve the skate park and allocate the money. One of them was was my friend Pamela, who was on city council 14 years ago, who looked at me and said, there's an ad hoc committee meeting this week. Why don't you show up for that? And then said, I'm termed out. And gave me a look, man. And from that look forward, we developed a friendship and a mentorship, and she inspired, and she motivated me to get super involved in the process, which led me to run for city council twice, which got me super involved in my local civic institutions, and turned me from a complainer on the sidelines to an active participant in this lower dimensional reality. And then so she testified, and then my buddy Skylar and Andy, we both ran for city council together. There was like a poster. We were like a slate of people running for city council. And there's a poster with all 3 of us in front of City Hall with our arms crossed. We really gave it a full effort to make a difference, man. And then there was a gal, Heather, who had been in it just after I got involved with it, who stayed the course even though her kids aged out. And then there was Norm, who is a Malibu City Council participant who has never missed a meeting, who was always there, and Norm and I became friends over the course of this. he testified, and this dude Ryan. So Norm testified first. It's all random how it works. Norm testified first, and the last dude to testify was this dude Ryan, and he is sort of the civic watchdog, if you will. He drives around in a car with cases of files, and he is sort of the human. He was sort of the human record collector of what is going on at City Hall. So it was sort of like we got the band together for one last show down at City Hall last night. Man, it was kind of a trip, dude. That we were the only people there. It wasn't any of the peripheral people or the kids or anything. It was sort of bittersweet, man. You know, I've that project to get a skate park built like altered my life, man. It like I said, it made me run for city government twice. It got me involved with people. And I think that kind of tags on to my last video. It's sort of in a weird way is and what I've been talking about lately is people are interesting. And you know, when I used to be on the sidelines and bitch and moan and complain, it was always them and then those guys and they're lame. And then you get involved and you realize that they're an important force. The opposition is a super important force, and without the opposition, you wouldn't get the result you wanted if there weren't people pushing back on what you were doing. And then you get to know these people, and you realize they're people just like you. They have children and lives, and you have a lot more in common than you would think, and they cease to be oppositions of humans, but oppositions of ideas. And those people that were once my opposition, when I called them during the 2020, 21, 22 era and fought hard against what was going to be injected into our children, those oppositional forces showed up and rallied behind what I was about and what I was trying to get done. Because we didn't agree on a lot of other things, but we had spent so much time in this institutional setting of exchanging power and maneuvering and dealing with paperwork and bureaucracy that mutual respect was gathered. And when I asked them to help me on something, that they were willing to help me, even though it wasn't really their cause, if you understand what I'm saying. And so last night was it was the victory, dude. It was the victory, man. You know, from the time I got involved till last night, I never missed any of the moments, dude. I've always made a point of showing up and just showing up, man, through the highs and the lows. And you know, I look back, I think about, like, there's this kid out there, Mr. Goat. That's all I know him at. He was a viewer of my YouTube channel in the beginning, and he's the dude who got a hold of me and was like, they're closing down Papa Jack's skate park. Can you come help us? And that's when I showed up at City Hall, and I showed up as a punk rock oppositional force with a lot of venom and aggression. And my friend Pamela guided that into a super productive force. But I think about Mr. Goat, and I mean, he was, I don't know, he must have been 12 or 13 then, so 14, he's got to be almost 30 now, dude. And I think about all the different groups of kids that came and went over the course of time. You know, they would start young and then sort of age out of the process by life, right? Like they would start out as like 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. And then as the process to build the skate park came and went, they would go to college and leave or move or just lose interest. And you know, man, if anything, I guess I'm trying to stay is like like next to getting sober and having kids and doing all that thing, one of the things that's done the most for me in my life was getting involved with my civic institutions. Like last night, like I sort of take it for granted because I'm one of those guys, and I've promoted it on this channel the entire time. And I had to live it, right? I can talk, but I had to show up, and many of you saw that. And I will say, getting involved with a representative institution that's based upon oppositional forces to get an end goal done forever has like made me a better human being and understand this lower dimensional reality in a completely different way. I think it changed me from being frustrated and angry and powerless to empowered, hopeful, and somewhat mellow. You know, I'm still all of that too, but you know, I remember I like it just on a wrap. I could talk on this for a while. Maybe I'll do a live stream about this. But I remember there was, you know, people in the city government. You know, my first time I ran, I was all about like transparency and firing everybody. And I was super gnarly, dude. Like I came in hot. And I brought a force with me, man. People gravitated to what I was about, dude. And I remember I was always about trying to fire this city manager and Reva. And then we went through fires as a community, the Volsey fire and all that. And I remember when we became, I don't know, I saw someone who saw what I saw during the fires. I saw instead of seeing a city manager I didn't agree with, I saw the human being under the surface. I remember meeting her daughter, and I remember seeing the overwhelmed human being in the face of a catastrophic disaster, and the mask came off, and you know, the city manager mask came off, and I remember the human there at the command center, and I was looking up at the hill, and I knew my house was burning down, and that moment always stands out. We became friends, man. I remember when the lockdowns happened, she called me and was like, "You guys all right? Anything you need, man. I'm here. I just know that like people that I once rallied against in the public spectrum, I stayed the course, and I played by the rules of the civic institution, and we gathered mutual respect for each other to the point where even being in opposition about ideas and lifestyles and all that thing, we became friends because we understood we were trying to move our communities forward. Even though we had different perceptions of how it should move forward, we were all on this thing of trying to move in a direction. And so today I think I'm just a little like like, wow, that's over. Like that phase of my life is officially like, was voted and approved last night in a majority decision. And I mean, it speaks to what skateboarding's done for my life, you know, to get involved and try to get a skate park built through a civic institutions in California on a coastline is radical, dude. And yeah, man, I don't know, man. I feel like one door closed. What's the next door open? We won last night, dude. And it happened. There was like a 2-minute debate up at the city hall. After 14 years, it came down to 2 minutes and 5 yeses, and money was approved and skate parks getting built, man. And it was a good night, and it was nice to have the band back together for one more performance at Malibu City Hall. And yeah, man, it's that kind of energy today. I'm just a little like, it's bittersweet, man. I think if you know what I'm talking about, is it's not the destination, it's the journey, man. Like, well, we got to the destination. Now what? Like, what do you do now? I think most people like understand that is on a something that lasts. But I'm 55, so that's like, you know, almost 25% of my life I spent with that going on in the background of my reality, dude. So we move on to the next chapter. So yeah, I don't know what to do. It's like it's not even something that, it's just like, it's a weird feeling, man. Like I said, it's bittersweet, dude. Super stoked that we're gonna get to go do frontside grinds in the coping, dude, in the deep end. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this is the illusion. Hey, man, get some t-shirts. Keep me moving in that thing, dude. Like, I like to make the t-shirts, and I like to make things and buy some art, man, but like I always say, dude, besides all the links down below, the most important thing you can do really is get involved. And the easiest way to get involved is start using the name tags on the people around you, and get to know those people down at this. I just can't say enough is get involved with your local civic institutions and use the name tags down there. And I'm grateful for today. Thank you.